Okay, so our meeting has just ended on July 19th here, and I'm just going to show you how we use our agenda and turn it into minutes that can be immediately distributed to our stakeholders at the end of the meeting. So this is the agenda that we would be using during the meeting, and all I'm going to do for this to turn it into minutes is create a copy. So I'm going to do File, Make a Copy, and then I'm going to take out Copy Of here and change Agenda into Minutes. And this is important that you create a copy because you can create a new agenda for your next meeting out of the original agenda for this meeting. So I'm just going to say OK. So now we have a document that is named meeting minutes from today, July 19th, here at the top. And so we're just going to change this from meeting agenda here to meeting minutes there. And that's really all you need to change. I might go through and take one more look to make sure that there's nothing public in there that I want to reword, but pretty much that happens during the meeting. So at this point, these are minutes and they're ready to be distributed. These action items are the things that came out of this current meeting that we just had. These in progress items were actually from last week and didn't get finished, so rather than leave them at the top of the agenda where we would lose track of them, we move them down into these active action items so that they will become part of our next agenda, and you'll see how that works in just a second here. But for right now, we have our minutes, and I'm just going to move these into a new folder for FY20. Oops, and we don't have one for FY20 yet, so I'm going to create a new folder, FY 2020, hit enter, and now we're going to move them here. And it's just going to share it with the public now, so anybody, including those of you in the room, can go ahead and access these minutes now, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'll just go to Egan Library here. We put our minutes under the About Us section of our website, and then here are our meeting minutes. And here's this brand new FY 2020 folder that I just created a few seconds ago, and here are the minutes that I just posted. And now it's these, the URL for these minutes that I would send out to the chancellor and provost and other staff members, etc., to share with them. And the nice thing about sending them a link as opposed to attached minutes is that I can go in and make some emergency changes to these minutes if I need to. If I realize that something was misstated, I can do that right away, and they just have a link to the minutes, so they're going to see whatever is there at the time that they follow that link. So now I'm going to go back to the Google Drive and back into our draft agendas folder. And since those minutes were a copy of our agenda, I'm just going to reopen that initial agenda we were looking at. And here we are back at the agenda. So now, in order to make the agenda for our next meeting, all I have to do is change a couple of things. I'm going to change the date up here from our current meeting date to our next meeting date, which is going to be July 31st. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make this July 31st. And then this is going to be July 19th because this is where we're going to put our new action items from the bottom of what we just did. And so now I'm going to go and grab our active action items that just came out of this meeting that we were just in. And I'm going to paste them over the ones that ended up in our minutes. And now we have the action items that came out of the meeting that we were just in today, which is the 19th, but they are going to be showing up on our new agenda as the completed action items from our last meeting. And now we have our new meeting date and time up at the top here. And we just have to take out these old agenda items. We usually post items that have an impact on our budget at the top of our meeting, and we just put an X in here since we don't know what numbers, how many items we're going to have in our agenda when we're all done. So we'll put those, and then items without budget impacts go after that. And I just delete this out. And now this is our new blank agenda that gets emailed out to everyone. I just copy and paste this URL in a message to all the people who are invited to the meeting, including staff members, and then they can follow that link, and any new things that they want to discuss before our next meeting on the 31st, they will copy and they will write into this agenda. And again, when they do that, they are going to be writing things in third person past tense, and they're going to be giving all that information, all the details about their action, all their details about the agenda items, so that other people can read those prior to the meeting and be prepared to discuss them and make decisions in the meeting, so that it's more productive use of time. And that's really all there is to this process. We're always creating the new agenda from the previous agenda. New action items always get moved to the top of our new agenda. The ones that were reported on go in the minutes from the previous meeting, and it's actually a pretty quick and easy process that only takes a few minutes to do at the end of a meeting, and then you're always set to go. So I hope this was helpful.